Here's a classic Cole Porter for you. You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire, while the breeze on high whispers a lullaby. You'd be all that I could desire, under stars chilled by the winter, under an August moon burning above. You'd be so nice, you'd be paradise to come home to. So nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire, while that breeze on high sings a lullaby. You'd be all that I could desire, the stars chilled by the winter, under an August moon burning above. You'd be so nice, you'd be paradise. You'd be so nice, so nice to come home to.
The way you look at me when you think I'm not looking tells me your heart's a sleeping giant worn out by someone you loved before me.
I see you're scared and convinced by what I try to say, that I am yours and that nothing will take me away.
You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
I know that you know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
The way you always call me with some question, and every time tried to pretend you didn't call me just 'cause I was on your mind.
Too soon for you to say out loud, but I know you love me, and though it already shows.
You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
I know that you know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away. You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away. I wait for you to open up, but it's not a boy. You're just what I've been looking for.
Why do you keep your head in the sand? Whoever you loved before me that ran's nothing like me.
Oh, nothing like me, nothing like me. You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
I know that you know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away.
You already know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away. I know that you know, but I'll sing it again. I love you, baby, nothing will take me away. No, no, it won't take me away.
and she lives next door. And every morning when the sun comes up, she brings me coffee in my favorite cup. That's why I know, yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. When I'm in trouble and I have no friend, I know she'll go with me until the end. You know, everybody asks me how I know. I smile at them and say she told me so. That's how I know. I know. Hallelujah, I just love her. Now if I call her on the telephone and tell her that I'm all alone, by the time I count from 1 to 4, I hear her on my door. When the evening comes and sun goes down, when there is nobody else around, she kisses me and she holds me tight. Ooh, and tells me, baby, everything's alright. That's why I know, yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. stream from morning sun to dine. But seas between us broad have roared since days of all anxiety.
Oh, hello. I was sitting in a coffee shop looking through the want ads when I read Macy's Herald Square, the largest store in the world, has big opportunities for outgoing, fun-loving people of all shapes and sizes who want more than just a holiday job. Working as an elf in Macy's Santaland means being at the center of the excitement. Okay, let's get real for a minute. When was the last time any of us were actually allowed to leisurely linger inside a coffee shop? I mean, here we are at the end of 2020, and I don't know about you, but it's been 9 months since I've darkened the doorway of a coffee shop or my favorite restaurant. I mean, the only indoor dining experience I've had is plopping my lazy butt down on my well-worn couch and eating frozen pizzas while watching Drag Race reruns. Hello, bitter table for one. I mean, this entire year has seemed less like a festive gay romp through Santaland and more like trudging through the steaming, stinking cesspools of Satanland. I mean, everyone's stuck in their own personal, oh my God corner without any toilet paper. Or worse yet, trapped in the vomit corner without any runner elf to bring us any vamoose. Each of us stuck on our own elf island with no magic window, no magic star, no magic tree, and no one life to live. I mean, this was the year when repeated shutdowns and imposed travel restrictions probably meant that Santa wasn't going to be bringing any presents to all the good boys and girls. Oh, and for those of you who were naughty this year, just want to remind you that Santa no longer traffics in coal. Instead, he just comes to your house and steals things. Now, a lot of you might find this hard to believe, and I will totally deny it if anyone ever asks. But what I wouldn't give for just one more chance to party in Santa's village with all those weird and wonderful elves, you know, indulge in a bit of wacky fun with the likes of Ginger Snap and Flaky, Puff, Noel, Sleigh Bell, Little Frosty, Snowball. Oh, yeah. Especially Snowball. Yeah, but needless to say, none of us could get a job working at Macy's Santaland this year. A lot of us forced to find employment standing on some street corner, handing out leaflets dressed as a cell phone or a taco or a French fry. And I'm trying to look on the bright side here. Playhouse on the Square asked me to kick off this countdown cabaret thing. It's like a top 12 list of the most attended, the highest grossing, the biggest money-making theatrical endeavors of the past 52 seasons. I thought it was a real prestigious honor for the Santaland Diaries to be included in this distinguished dozen. Sort of like placing my cap in the Elfin Hall of Fame. Until I was informed that it was number 12 on the list. But that's okay. I'm not a real elf. I'm an artist. So, I think we're almost ready to say goodbye and good riddance to 2020 and bid a hearty hell yeah to 2021. And as we all head into a hopeful new year, this crumpet encourages you to keep in mind something he learned from working all those years on the Santaland Diaries. Please try to remember to love other people as much as they love you. Now, please enjoy Playhouse on the Square's New Year's Eve Countdown Extravaganza.
Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Welcome to the Playhouse on the Square Winter Spotlight Series, Episode 3, The Countdown Cabaret. Now, I am sure you can agree with me that 2020 was not the way to bring in a new decade. It certainly wasn't for us here at Playhouse on the Square. So I say let's toss this year and start again on the one. 2021, that is. A new year gives us a new start. As we begin this new chapter, it is of course important that we acknowledge this past year, its highs, its lows, the loved ones we've lost, and the historic milestones we've accomplished. Speaking of milestones, Playhouse on the Square has had quite a few of those in the theater's 51-year history, and we thought it might be fun to count down the theater's highest attended musicals and plays by percentage over that time with you tonight. What you are about to witness is something we've never attempted. Our performers and friends of the theater will help you relive some of your favorite performances, share stories from days gone by, and share how we plan to continue creating world-class art for the Mid-South for many years to come. You can, of course, show your support by donating to Playhouse on the Square tonight. Click the donate button on this page or visit playhouseonthesquare.org/donate. Well, I hope you have your beverage or two. Make sure you save some for midnight. Pop a few bags of popcorn and plate up the last of those leftovers. This is the Countdown Cabaret. Let's kick things off with the 8th highest attended musical in Playhouse on the Square history, the 2013 production of Les Miserables. The production was an instant success and one of the highest undertakings the theater had attempted in our new state-of-the-art theater. Performing stars from Les Miserables is Playhouse on the Square executive producer, Michael Detroit.
There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from God, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine is the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, in your multitudes, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky. You hold your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flames. And so it must be, for so it is written on the doorway to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear by the stars.
Playhouse on the Square is my home, and the people working for this theater are my family, and you are a part of that family as well. We used to use the phrase, "Only love beats theater." This year has proven that more than ever. When we find love in the theater and from the people that have been creating it for the past 51 years, you can start to find your place. I moved here in 1993 as an intern, worked my way up to managing director, and would not trade the last 27 years for anything. I'm glad that you have found a place here with us as well. We miss you and we love you, and we do hope that you enjoy this evening. It's why we're here. I guess you could say it's our purpose. Performing Purpose from our 7th highest attended musical, Avenue Q, is resident company member Daniel Stewart Nelson with a very, very special guest.
Purpose, it's that little flame that lights a fire under your ass. Purpose, it keeps you going strong like a car with a full tank of gas. Everyone else has a purpose, so what's mine? Oh look, it's almost midnight. It's a sign. I don't know how I know, but I'm gonna find my purpose. I don't know where I'm gonna look, but I'm gonna find my purpose. Gotta find out, don't wanna wait. Got to make sure that my life will be great. Oh, hey.
Daniel, you know we're not doing any shows right now, right?
What? Yeah, I knew that. What are you up to?
Oh, well, I was just in my office, working on the season. The 21-22 season. We've got some great shows picked out for next season. The first title that we're going to do, it's going to be called...
Oh, this is my stop. Gotta find my purpose before it's too late. Whoa, I'm gonna find my purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna find it. Could be far, take a week, a month, a year, at a job. We're smoking grass, ha! Maybe at a pottery class. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. I'm gonna find my purpose, yeah. Whoa, 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 I'm gonna find it. When will it be? Where will it be? My purpose in life is a mystery. Gotta find my purpose. I gotta find me. Whoa, whoa, I gotta find my purpose. Purpose, 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 yeah, yeah. I gotta find me.
A special thanks to Justin Asher with Bare Hands Puppetry Design for Daniel's special guest scene partner. Hi folks, I'm Michael Detroit, the executive producer at Playhouse on the Square. New Year's Eve is traditionally the moment where you look back on the past year and look forward to the years to come. I'm glad to look back and say goodbye 2020, and I'm certain that you are too. At first glance, after all we've been through, it's difficult to find anything positive about the past 10 months. In fact, at Playhouse on the Square since March of 2020, we've closed 24 shows through June of 2021, 5 education programs, and 3 of our major fundraisers. And that financial shortfall has been pretty significant, as it has been for many of our friends in other arts groups throughout Shelby County and the Mid-South. With your help, we'll hopefully overcome that and get back to producing theater live for you and education programs where you can come into our building and we can come to your schools and do what we do best. All of that, plus what you and your loved ones have had to endure, is enough to challenge even the strongest of us, looking for light at the end of the tunnel. I have to tell you how proud I am of this team that we have here at Playhouse on the Square. For the amount of times we've used the term pivot, this team has answered the call to be there for one another and find ways to continue to create art for you and for us. The staff, designers, artists, technicians, and teachers at Playhouse on the Square have certainly lived up to the phrase, "The show must go on," and it has. With digital content in the way of archival videos, past show roundtables, play readings and competitions, going online with theater classes and summer conservatory, cabarets, and more, our team has answered the call, and we will continue to do so in 2021. Our company has suffered setbacks, as have, I said, many of our friends across the arts community. Your donations and support are vital to our future until we can welcome you back into our theaters again. Won't you consider donating today? Click the link below or visit playhouseonthesquare.org/donate to see how. Now, back to the countdown. The third highest attended play for Playhouse on the Square was written by Andrew Hopgood and Evan Linder, entitled 5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche. It was a New Works at the Works winner and sold out for 3 weeks at TheaterWorks on the Square. With a scene from that play, here is Courtney Oliver, Brooke Papritz, Haley Wilson, Kim Sanders, and Brianna Tillman.
Oh, God, it's so beautiful. Oh, ladies, fellow widows, ladies, sisters, welcome. Welcome to the December 31st meeting of the Susan B. Anthony Society for the Sisters of Gertrude Stein. Welcome. I am your events chairwoman, Red Robin. And I would like to welcome you all to the 1956 quiche breakfast.
Hop to it, Dale. Oh, nice pose, Ray. Sisters, Luli is almost done judging the quiches, and then we will be ready to start the meeting.
Sisters, did you all hear that?
Jenny, I waited for you earlier, but you're gonna walk over with me.
Oh, Vern, I completely forgot. I've been so frazzled getting ready for today.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Louise walked me over after I fitted her for a pantsuit.
I didn't know you and Louise were friends.
Well, she's not my first choice, but I certainly could get used to her kind of walk.
No, Vern, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I haven't been able to think about anything but quiche.
You're excited about eating that prize quiche, aren't you?
More than anything.
Oh, very well then, I can accept that.
Jenny, how many quiches were submitted this year?
Well, there are 71 sisters here in attendance today, and all but one submitted a quiche. Oh, but who wouldn't submit a quiche?
Looks like there's one here among us who is too ashamed to let the light of day see her quiche ever again. Isn't that right, Marjorie?
Oh, Marjorie, I didn't see you out there with all the other widows.
Yeah, Marjorie. You know, we're used to seeing you up here with the other officers. Oh, Marjorie.
That's right, the Marjorie.
Now, sisters, we'll discuss Marjorie's fall from grace immediately after the meeting.
Oh, let's do that, by the way. Immediately after the meeting. Jenny, put that on the agenda.
I have made note of it as an action item.
Oh, sisters, the anticipation is so incredible!
I'm so excited for my first quiche breakfast.
Yes, welcome, Jenny. We're so fortunate to be here like this today, but you know that, of course.
Amen, sister.
It makes you so appreciative of how brave our dear founder, later Eureka Monmouth, was to live alone in the woods amongst those creatures and birds and berries, until one day she came across the chicken colony, which is the chickens that produce the backbone of this sisterhood. The egg!
God bless the egg! That reminds me. Oh, I have a surprise for everyone. Oh, now, Dale, you must hurry. Luli is almost ready. Oh, I'll be real quick. If anyone strikes anything resembling a Poe, I won't let you down. You were testing me! Oh, I was testing you. Testing me. Guilty.
Jenny, I have some new business I would like to add to the agenda.
The agenda is almost full, Ren.
Well, yes, but this is important. While I was walking here this morning, it struck me. We need more parks. We have the one park, but we need more. So, I think we should donate and build a ranger station.
Ren, we have been over this. We do not need a ranger station because there are no rangers in this town.
I don't think that's true. I think if we build a station, the rangers will come.
Now, whoa.
Look what I have! Oh, I found this candid, very candid portrait of Lady Monmouth, taken at the exact moment that she was clearing the subdivision now known as Oak Tree Falls. As you can see here, she is returning from the colony of chickens. Oh, I deduced this from the specifically designed egg satchel she is carrying. Oh, and just then, a mighty oak fell before her and blocked her path. And this portrait was taken at the exact moment she began to chop that tree into pieces to clear her path. Oh, and when I look at this very candid portrait, I think, that is a pose.
Hello, I am your newest resident company member. Now that is a fun little hint at the show I'll be introducing in just a moment, but before we do that, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Donald Sutton, and like I said, I am the newest resident company member here at Playhouse on the Square. During my time as a resident, you could have seen me in the following shows. Okay, well actually they were all postponed. Never mind, let's rewind for a moment. 2 years before I was a resident, I was an associate. During that time, you could have seen me in Little Women the Musical, Peter Pan 2 years in a row, once as a pirate, once as Captain Hook. You could have seen me in Tuck Everlasting and many more shows. Ever since I got here, Playhouse on the Square has proven to be an amazing experience and continues to be a beautiful journey. There is something about this place that keeps pulling you in, and I'm convinced that even though this may sound cliche, it's the community here. Whether you're in a seat, in a shop, on stage, or just anywhere in this theater, you have a place at Playhouse on the Square. Which reminds me of a show that I got to do at the end of my first year, The Legend of George McBride. I played a character named Casey. He was this Florida man who had to drop his fragile masculinity and ended up finding his place as a drag performer. To research the role, I went to my very first drag show a few blocks away over at Drew's, and I was astonished at the performances I saw that night. And on that note, I am happy to introduce this next performance from Playhouse on the Square's 6th highest attended musical, the 1999 production of Pageant. Now, this show was so popular that the theater has produced it on 3 separate occasions. Now, reliving the fun Southern girl realness of Pageant is resident musical director and company member Nathan McHenry.
Dream awaken to me, starlight and the dewdrops are waiting for thee. Oh, land, I'm so tired of all this doing. How I long for those gracious days before the war of northern aggression. The days when a girl didn't have to do all her doing herself. The days of cavaliers and cotton fields. And me! My great-great-grandma Jeannie! Where'd you come from?
Come from Alabama just to sit here on your knee. I come to tell you all about the way things used to be. Oh, Lord, no, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama.
And don't forget about me. Why, great-great-granddaddy Colonel Summerford. What are you doing here? I came here 'cause I've been a-dreaming.
And a drinking, too.
Oh, you should sing her that song. I dreamed of Jeannie with the light brown hair, thorn like a feather on the soft summer air.
My Colonel, how sweet.
Let's stop this foolishness and let's go to the races. And what races might they be, Lorenda?
You old fool! You know perfectly well! The countdown racers sing this song, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Countdown racetrack 5 miles long. Oh, doo-dah day.
I come down there with my key then.
Doo-dah, doo-dah. Come back home with the little gin.
Oh, doo-dah day.
Going to run all night. Going to run all day.
That's my money on the dogtail neck.
Somebody bet on.
Somebody bet on.
Somebody bet on the bay. Hey!
Why is theater education important?
It allows us to express our feelings. It allows us to tell our stories. And not only do we get to act those stories and feelings, but we get to sing them. We get to dance them if we want to. We get to paint pictures around us that deal with those feelings and those stories. That's why it's really important that we study theater.
Welcome back to the Playhouse on the Square Winter Spotlight Series, Episode 3. That's the Countdown Cabaret. This is a little bit harder to do when you have a mask on. But Whitney, Joe, Mike, and I are here with a very special member of the Playhouse on the Square family. Karen Bareil has been Director of Theater Education and has served in this role for 41 years. An actor, a director, a sign language interpreter in her own right. There is nothing that Karen can't do.
At the end of this year, Karen will be retiring, and we thought it would be a great time to talk with Karen about her career and her contributions to Playhouse on the Square and the entire arts community.
So, welcome to something you probably have never done before.
Finally.
Yeah, and we get to do it through foggy glasses. Yes, right. And all kinds of fun stuff. So, I think I've known you the longest of all of us here on the stage. I met you, 1989. We did a few shows together.
Yes.
Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. And well, let's start with that. That goes way back when. But, and as Marcus said, so many things that you've done on the stage and backstage and in our educational department since 1989, but you started before I got here. Tell us a little bit about how you came to Playhouse and some of the programs and some of the people you worked with.
Right. Yes, 41 years. It's been incredible. This is a great family to work with. So in 1979, I went to SCTC.
Which is an audition conference, the Southeastern Theater Conference.
Yes.
Big audition conference.
Yeah.
I was sitting here thinking about how young I was in 1979. Thank you. Yeah,
well, a lot of the staff here were not born in 1979. And I auditioned the Cattle Call, and he did not call me back.
He who?
Jackie Nichols.
Jackie Nichols, our founder and executive producer at the time.
But I did hear from a friend. I had worked at Flat Rock Playhouse for about 2 years. And I heard from a friend that he was starting a deaf theater, a theater of the deaf. And I had learned some sign language about 6 months beforehand. So I went to the room to talk to him. And they needed one other person to fill out the ensemble of Show of Hands. So he hired me.
Now, you just said Show of Hands. What was Show of Hands?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm assuming everybody knows. But Show of Hands is a theater of the deaf, and it was comprised of hearing and deaf actors who would perform all over the Mid-South area. We went to schools, correctional centers, daycare centers, just everywhere. So for an actor, it really helped me to grow too. So, so I came in 1979 to start working with Show of Hands, and it really wasn't, and that was before we were doing a lot of outreach before theater education actually started. So in about 1985, Jay Kinney, who was performing in To Kill a Mockingbird, and also getting his master's degree at the University of Memphis, talked to Jackie Nichols about starting a youth theater because he saw that the kids in To Kill a Mockingbird were not getting any training with us, except for performing. So he started the education program.
And what year was that again?
That was about 1985.
Gotcha.
So Jay Kinney, it was his idea. He had worked at the Alliance Theater, so had a lot of background working with kids. I worked with him for, while I was doing Show of Hands. I wasn't getting paid for it, but I was very interested.
We pay everybody now, by the way. Everybody gets paid.
Yes, yes. And that's how I started. So Jay left after 5 or 6 years to go back to the Atlanta area, and that's when. So I started as an actor with him, and then I became an assistant director with him. And then when he left, I became the director of the theater education program.
And that program has grown quite a bit
Yes.
since you've been at the head of that.
Yes, it had a touring program and it had conservatory. That was 1985. But since then, we've added a multitude of programs, and it just keeps growing.
Indeed.
And I know it will continue to do that.
Karen, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, out of this time that you've spent with us here, what would you say has been your favorite or most memorable time with Playhouse?
That's really hard.
Yeah.
I feel like, one of the reasons I stayed here is that I grow each day. I'm always learning. And sometimes it's because things happen, like in 2020, and you have to learn something new. And a lot of the growth has been like that. I was an actor. All of a sudden, I'm an administrator. All of a sudden, I'm a director. That's one of the things that I love about Playhouse is that you do continue. Every day is different. You're learning something every day, every month, every year, every decade. So I feel like I keep transforming and taking on other roles, or maybe one becomes more important. So it's really hard to say. I started as an actor. So probably, my most favorite play is Holiday Memories. Just because of the people that were involved. It's a beautiful play. But just the people that I worked with, it will always stay in my heart. So, the reason I've stayed as well is the kids that, grow up, they have kids of their own, they send their kids to our program, so it really feels good to see them grow as well.
Kara, when I first got here, December of 1993, first show I saw was you in Holiday Memories. It was a pretty moving and phenomenal piece, and I think it's one of our all-time favorites. That was just the perfect cast, perfect everything, and so I see why you get a little emotional. But I have the question that everybody in Memphis is wondering. Karen Burrell, what are you going to do now? You're retiring at the end of this year. Well, at the end of tonight. Wait a minute, in like 5 minutes. I don't know what time it is, but what are you going to do?
Well, the first month I'm going to sleep. I'll see, like with Playhouse, I'll see where life takes me. I know I'll volunteer here. I know I'll volunteer across this great Memphis community too. So, but I'm ready for 2021. I'm ready for what it has to offer. I'm hoping and optimistic that it'll be a great year.
Karen, we love you.
Thank you.
Great. Well, folks, we can't go a day without Karen getting a little choked up about something, right?
True. Yeah.
Seriously, your personality, your aura that you create when you're around all of us, I don't think out of anybody in the history of Playhouse on the Square that anybody has ever had a cross word with you. And in fact, we were talking before we were taping about if we had ever heard Karen swear. And I don't think we have, at least on very few occasions.
When I think of the nicest, sweetest, not a bad word about anybody person, I think about Karen.
Absolutely. And it gets back to, things that many of the segments tonight have talked about, us being a family, us really, caring for each other. And certainly you have cared for this organization for 41 years. And it's not going to be the same without you. We will certainly move forward. I'm glad to hear that you'll be back and helping us out. And anyone else that gets to utilize your services from here on out will be very lucky to have you. So thank you. Karen has had a very fulfilling life here at Playhouse on the Square. And it's not over. Her life will continue. Thank gosh, right, for all of that. And Karen has done many things for us as an organization. I think everyone here will agree to that. And this is my awkward segue into the next portion of this show, because we talk about lives and the lives we've lived. And so, Marcus, why don't you
Well, Karen, I think the only thing we can do is, again, say that we love you, and we certainly will miss you, but Mike says it all the time. People leave here, but they don't ever really leave here.
They just go on vacation.
They just go on vacation. We'll see you later.
Yes.
But you can't leave until you announce the next show.
Oh, well, I would love to. Well, I have the great honor of saying that performing Life I Never Led by the 5th highest attended musical, Sister Act, here is Brooke Papritz.
I've never talked back. I've never slept late. I've never sat down when told to stand straight. I've never let go or gone with the flow. I don't even know really why. I've never asked questions or taken a dare. I've never worn clothes that would make people stare. I've never rebelled or stood up and yelled, or maybe just held my head high. And all of the feelings unspoken, all of the truths unsaid, they're all I have left of the life I never led. I've never gone surfing or ran with a crowd, or danced on a table, or laughed way too loud. I've never quite dared to leave myself bare. I've been much too scared I might fall. I've never seen Paris, swam naked, been kissed. I never quite realized just how much I've missed. And what did I get for hedging each bet? Another regret, and that's all. And all of the wishes unasked for, all of the needs unfed, they're all that remain of the life I never led. Now that you've given me one little taste of it, and now that I know what I know, well, how can I go on ignoring the waste of it? After all of these years that I've clung to my fears, would you help me let go? Help me let go. I want to be brave. I want to be strong. I want to believe I'm where I belong. To stand up and say, I'm seizing the day. To not just obey, but to choose. And I may not surf, I may not see France, but I have to know I still have the chance. And maybe I'll make a painful mistake. It's mine though to take or refuse. And all of the doors yet to open, all of the rooms ahead, they're beckoning bright, scary and new, but I'm standing tall, and I'm walking through. What's gone may be gone, but I won't go on playing dead. It's time to start living the life I never led.
Hey, it's Arnold again. Earlier, I made a joke that all the shows that I was doing as a resident got postponed, but please do not think that that means I wasn't busy. During the pandemic, I had the amazing opportunities to direct, to lead our team's journey into digital performances, and to help create new curriculum with theater education. All of these things were possible with the help of sponsors, like our super sponsor, Dr. Thomas Ratliff, of whom which I am just a fanboy of. I think you're amazing, Dr. Thomas Ratliff. If you're watching this, love you. We thank Dr. Ratliff, the Ginium Foundation, Arts Memphis, generous board members, and all of those who have found their place with Playhouse on the Square for the past 50+ years. You can find your place as well by donating today and joining this great big family. Click the link below or visit playhouseonthesquare.org/donate. You can do front slash, but it will not take you anywhere. There you can find information regarding becoming a sponsor in a future season or supporting one of the 13 education and outreach programs that touch the lives of nearly 30,000 children, teens, and adults each year. Now, please help me welcome back Courtney, Brooke, and Kim with the second highest attended play from Playhouse on the Square's 40th season, August, Osage County.
Did the doctor really say she needed to go to an institution? I mean, does she need to go? Did he examine her?
Dr. Burke says she may be brain damaged. Slightly brain damaged. I told him I thought he was slightly incompetent, and hopefully sometime soon he'd be slightly dead. He claims not to know she was taking so much, and that's why he's eager to put her away. He's afraid of a malpractice suit. I told him I was considering it, that irresponsible shithead.
Wait, how did he not know how many prescriptions he was giving her? Didn't he know that
It's not just him. She's got a doctor in every port.
Yeah, here's how she does it. She goes to a doctor for back spasms and gets a prescription. Then a day or two later, she goes back. She says she lost her pills, and he writes her another one. Then a week later, she pulls a muscle, more pills. And then the dosage is wrong, more pills. Over and over until she takes one too many trips, and he says, I'm not prescribing you anymore. And then she'll pull a sheath of prescription receipts out of her purse and say, I'll go to the AMA, and I will have your ass in court for overprescribing me. I mean, she genuinely threatens these men, and they give in to her.
You knew this was all going on again. Well, different tactic today. Just her wounded best, this wilting hothouse flower, which made me look like Betty Davis. And I tried to goad her into it, you know? Come on, Mom. Give him your speech about the greatest generation. Tell him about the claw hammer. Oh, it was like that guy in the cartoon with the frog that only sings for him.
Well, it wouldn't have done any good. Dr. Burke's part of the same generation.
Oh, greatest generation, my ass. And are they really considering all the generations? Maybe there's some generations from the Iron Age that could compete. What makes them the greatest anyway? What, they were poor and they hated Nazis? Who didn't fucking hate Nazis? You remember the time we checked her into the psych ward? That stunt she pulled?
Which time?
Wait, I wasn't there.
Oh, big speech. She's getting clean, and this sacrifice she is making for her family.
Right, she's letting her family down, but now she wants to prove that she's a good family member.
She smuggled Darvasette into the psych ward. In her vagina. Now there's your greatest generation for you. She made this speech to us while she was clenching a bottle of pills in her cooch, for God's sake.
Oh my God.
Did you really just say
story?
Cooch?
I'm afraid Mom's pussy sounded a bit gauche.
Okay, but you're more comfortable with cooch, are you?
What word should I use to describe our mother's vagina?
Okay, I don't know, but not
Mom's
cooch.
beaver. Mother's box. Violet's hot pocket. Her Majesty's cloistered pearl. The midnight wombat.
The city of Memphis is so rich in history, music, culture, and diversity. That's what makes Memphis the perfect destination to visit and plant roots. I came to Memphis, Tennessee in 1989, sight unseen, from graduate school in San Diego. I had intended on staying here for 1 year with my contract, which is a wonderful contract with 8 shows. And then I was moving on to places like Chicago to finish my career up there. Well, here I am, almost 30 years later, having been a resident company member for many years, development director, associate producer, and actually as the audition coordinator for the Unified Professional Theater auditions, and eventually the executive producer. I met my wife here, had a child here, and now I've got a mortgage and a bunch of bills I need to pay. But the bottom line is, I love Memphis, Tennessee, and I love Playhouse on the Square. Playhouse on the Square has had the pleasure of producing shows that honor the history and creativity of the Bluff City over the many years. Shows like West Memphis Mojo, The Mountaintop, and of course, Memphis the Musical, just to name a few. But there's one show that, even though it doesn't have Memphis in the name, I bet you $1 million where in Memphis it was set. I directed $1 Million Quartet and had a blast doing it. We had so much talent on that stage. And every night, the audience was on their feet more than once. I think I saw every single performance, and I danced in the back of the auditorium each time we did it. We'll bring that show back again when it's time. Now, once again, here's Nathan McHenry singing "Whole Lot of Shakin' Going On" from the 4th highest attended musical for Playhouse on the Square, the $1 Million Quartet.
Well, come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. I said, now come on over, baby, baby, you can't go on. Woo! We ain't faking, said a whole lot of shaking going on. Well, now come on over, baby, we got chicken in the barn. Woo! Come on over, honey, really got the bull by the horn. Yeah! We ain't faking, said a whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, now shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, little honey, shake. I said, now shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, honey, shake. We ain't faking, said a whole lot of shaking going on. All right now. Well, come on over, baby. We got chickens in the barn. Whose barn was born? My barn. Come on over, baby. Really got the bull by the horn. Yeah. We ain't faking. Said a whole lot of shaking going on. Easy now, shake. Now, it's to know that some of y'all sitting at home all alone. That don't mean you can't shake it out with us a little bit now. Stand up right where you are. Just give me a little wiggle round a little bit. Woo! Yeah! Now, if you ain't shaking it around a little bit for me, I know you're gonna write me a big check now. Send it right over to Playhouse on the Square now. Get ready. If you like this back part, give me a big old check here. Here we go. Shake! Come on now, shake, baby, shake. I said shake, honey, shake. I said now shake, baby, shake. Come on, shake, don't let it break. We ain't faking, said a whole lot of shaking going on, yeah.
Playhouse is nothing without its patrons and supporters. That's you. I hope you know how important you are to each of us. This performance tonight was made with you in mind. True, it's nice to go back and think about all the fabulous shows we've produced on any of our 6 stages throughout our history at Playhouse on the Square and the Circuit Playhouse. But these are the top attended plays and musicals because you came to see them. So thank you for that. We know that these are uncertain times. It will take all of us doing our part to stay safe so that you can return to our theaters and we can perform for you in person again. Until then, we will be here and do our very best to keep you company. Won't you consider donating what you can? Click that link below and visit playhouseonthesquare.com/donate. Your contributions have helped us keep things going while we have been away from each other. Remember what I said? We are all a big family. The 3rd most attended musical production was an all-time favorite. Hairspray was so popular we had to produce it more than once. Performing Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, our associate company member Haley Wilson and resident company members Brooke Papritz, Kim Sanders, and Courtney Oliver.
Stop telling me what to do. Don't treat me like a child of 2.
upon a time when I was just a kid, you never let me do just what the older kids did, but lose that laundry list of what you won't allow. 'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now.
Once upon a time I used to play with toys, but now I'd rather play around with teenage boys. So if I get a hickey, please don't have a cow.
'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now.
I gotta tell you that without a doubt I get my best dancing lessons from you. You're the one who taught me how to twist and shout, because you shout non-stop and you're so twisted too.
Once I used to fidget 'cause I just sat home,
but now I'm just like Gidget and I've gotta get to Rome.
So say arrivederci
and ciao.
'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now.
Oh, stop, don't, no, please. Stop, don't, no, please. Stop, don't, no, please.
Mama, I'm a big girl now. Once upon a time I was a shy young thing, could barely walk and talk so much as dance and sing. But let me be a star, I wanna take that vow. 'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now.
Once upon a time I used to dress up Ken, but now that I'm a woman I like bigger men. And I don't need a Barbie doll to show me how.
'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now.
Ma, you always taught me what was right from wrong, and now I just wanna give it a try. Mama, I've been in the nest for far too long, so please give a push and mama, watch me fly. Watch me fly.
Someday I can meet a man you won't condemn,
and we can have some kids and you can torture them.
But let me be a star before I take that vow.
'Cause mama, I'm a big girl now. Mama, I'm a big girl now. Hey, mama, I'm a big girl. Ooh, such a big, big girl. I'm a big girl now. Please, mama, I'm a big girl now.
Hey! Having a good time? Do you need to refill your beverage, get more snacks, maybe polish off the rest of that coconut cake? But don't worry, no, I can wait. Seriously, it's fine. While they're out of the room, how are you doing? Okay, cool, we're not talking. That's great. All right, did you have a good day yesterday? Okay, they're back. All right, okay. So now that we are ready to keep going, I wanted to share with you something that you already know. Playhouse on the Square does everything. There isn't a type of show that we won't do if it serves within our mission of producing art that speaks to the heart and soul of our community. We won't shy away from language, nudity, race, sex, or inequality. We do family shows, musicals, and the occasional farce. We strive to represent our community. We want to tell your story. For 51 years, that's what we've done. Next year, we continue. Okay, back to the countdown. The number one, I'm excited about this one. The number one attended play in Playhouse on the Square history is the 1977 production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Here to perform a scene from the groundbreaking play is Marcus Cox, former associate company member Danny Crow, and resident company member Kim Sanders.
May I, Doctor? Gentlemen, we have just come from the Treasurer's office, and we have here a memorandum of extreme interest. It concerns patient Randall McMurphy.
Oh, stand back, you peckerheads! Here comes the champ! Old McMurphy, the 10,000-watt striker-path! Howdy, buddies. Howdy, Doc. Miss Ratchet. And here, ladies and gentlemen, right here before your very eyes, the wild man who dotes on high voltage and eats 3 eggs for breakfast each and every morning!
Mr. McMurphy. Mr. McMurphy, we're in the middle of a session.
Oh, do continue.
Since you found it so enjoyable, perhaps a few more treatments.
Oh, please do, ma'am. Look at the good a few measly bolts has done me. I bet if we doubled the charge, I could pick up Channel 8.
Doctor.
Miss Ratched?
I should like to withdraw that suggestion as to further treatment.
Oh.
Yes, I think it might be appropriate to consider surgical procedure.
Ma'am?
An operation. It's quite simple, really. And we've had an excellent record in aggressive cases.
Aggressive? Why, ma'am, there's no cause to do any cutting. I'm as friendly as a pup.
Randall, there's no cutting involved. We simply...
Besides, it wouldn't do no good to lob them off. I got another pair at home, big as baseballs.
One moment, Doctor. I should like to return to the subject.
What subject?
The question of surgical procedure for patient McMurphy.
Not warranted, except in cases of uncontrollable violence.
He has exhibited violence.
Shall we say there was a certain provocation? No, Miss Ratched. And since you brought up the matter in group instead of staff, I'll share my opinion. I do not approve of surgical procedure in the absence of recurrent violence.
And if it should recur?
Then we may reconsider. McMurphy, I will bear that in mind.
Behave yourself, boys.
Do change your mind about those treatments, ma'am. I just adore your little battery charger. Jesus.
Hi, folks. I hope you enjoyed that segment dealing with people who have issues that they've got to really deal with the challenges in their lives. And certainly we're going through that right now with COVID-19. Marcus and I are separated by a little bit more than 6 feet, so I'm going to take my mask off at this point. Yeah, we're good with that. So we can talk about some serious issues that we're facing. Thank you again for watching the Winter Spotlight Series, episode number 3, The Countdown Cabaret.
Actually, Mike, we're down to the top 2 musicals ever produced or attended at Playhouse on the Square based on attendance. Do you know what they have in common?
Well, Marcus, I do, because I've read the script that you
I wrote
provided
a
to
good
us.
script.
The following show represents the best and worst things about Memphis and our country. The struggles, the sacrifices, the fight for something better, and the overall ability to succeed, even in the face of adversity.
That's right. The past year, our country has been faced with more than one pandemic. While Americans have been fighting to stay healthy in the wake of a global pandemic, the country was faced with the reality that Black Americans have been fighting to stay alive for the past 401 years. While shuttered at home, we witnessed that for someone that looks like me, 9 seconds could be the difference between life and death. I wake up every morning knowing that so far, I'm one of the lucky ones. But the issue of systemic racism and bias rests right at my front door and the doors of every American.
I'm proud of the work we do here at Playhouse on the Square. As Donald mentioned earlier, we don't shy away from telling the stories that can be uncomfortable to hear, because they're important stories to be told. Marcus's story and the stories of other Black, Indigenous people of color are as important as any story we could ever tell. Their struggle is our struggle. That's why at Playhouse on the Square, we've done a number of things that hopefully will improve our society, our Mid-South, our work conditions at Playhouse, and certainly just our interactions with each other, both inside our walls and in our auditoriums, classrooms, etc. We've done a number of things over the past number of years dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've manifested a number of items within our strategic plan, focusing on trying to create a more diverse staff, more diversity on our stages, and the types of shows that we produce, and also diversity within our board. Now, it's a work in progress. We certainly have not solved all of the issues that we need to deal with, but we're conscious of that. And while we can certainly talk about it, the more important thing is that we act upon it. And I think that we're trying to do that in a very positive and conscious way. And so, Marcus, why don't you talk about one of the programs that we've started a few months ago?
That's right. And actually, pretty much at the beginning of the pandemic, when we got back into our offices and were able to start working again, you came to me and certainly empowered me to think about what we can do to start to make sure that we are telling those stories of our entire community and doing it in a way that was organic and real and not seem like it was just another predominantly white institution trying to check off boxes. So we started reaching out to our the theater and film and journalism and marketing programs at historically black colleges and universities across the country. We've gotten great responses back, and we're starting to build some really exciting relationships, and I'm excited that that's really going to start to kick off in the new year. So something else to look forward to in 2021.
Yeah, and it's so important because it's not just about, as you said, checking off boxes. That's not the point of any of this. The point is to really make some advancements in the way we think and the way we interact and the way we move forward as an organization and the bigger picture as a society. I think the relationships you've created with the HBCUs are really important. We want folks to come and work for us, certainly, as interns, as staff members, not just the students, but the faculty and the alumni of those organizations. And quite frankly, that is fruitful for us as an organization. It enriches us, but it also enriches our Memphis community because we hope that folks will come and work with us, but quite frankly, will choose to stay in Memphis. And that's a very important goal for us. So thank you for taking the lead on that. And as I said, it's a work in progress. So thank you for your support out of the community as well.
Absolutely. I am proud to be a part of a family and an organization that's not afraid to get in, as John Lewis would say, good trouble. With the second highest attended musical in Playhouse on the Square history, here is resident company member Brianna Tillman singing I'm Here from the public program.
I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to love. I got my sister. I can't hold her now. She may not be here, but she's still mine, and I hope she still loves me. I got my children. Hold them now, they may not be here. They still mine, and I hope I still love them. Got my house, it still keep the cold out. Got my chair when my body can't hold out. Got my hands doing good like they supposed to, showing the love to the folks that I'm close to. Got my eyes, though they don't see us for now, they see more how about things really are now. I'm gonna take a deep breath, gonna hold my head up, gonna put my shoulders back and look them straight in the eye. I'm gonna flirt with somebody when they walk by. I'm gonna sing out, sing out. But most of all, I'm thankful for loving who I really am. I'm beautiful. Yes, I'm beautiful. And I'm here.
Well, we are to the last performance of the night. Are you still awake? You know, if you know me, normally I would have been asleep about 4 hours ago. But 2020 has to go, and I want to make sure it does. I hope you have enjoyed our Countdown Cabaret. We certainly have enjoyed sharing it with you. Sharing with you what we love about our theater and what we have offered you the past 51 years. There is so much more to come. So, before it's midnight, click that link below, playhouseonthesquare.org/donate. You'll get a little help on your taxes too. Click that button. Thank you again for all that you do for us. We really do love you. Now, here is Brianna Tillman, once again, with the #1 musical of all time at Playhouse on the Square. Can you guess what it is? Well, it's the perfect song for 2020. From Dreamgirls, here is Move.
2020, I got one word for you. Move, move, move right out of my life. Move, move, move right out of my life. You better move. You're stepping on my heart. I said move. You're tearing it apart. Please move. Oh, what am I gonna do? My heart is breaking up over you. You've got a such magnetic power that just keeps holding me down. I feel just like a flower that you're keeping stuck in the ground, ground, ground. Move, move, move right out of my life. Move it out of my life. Move, move, move right out of my life. Move it out of my life. Move, move, move right out of my life. You are so horribly satanic, the way you lead me around. I feel just like the Titanic. I'm always going down, 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 down. You're stepping on my style. Oh, please move. I wanna breathe for a while. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Get out of my life and donate to life. So why don't you pack it up and move and take it, pack it up and move, take your broken down car, your smelly cigar, and just move right out of my life.
Wow, what a great evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
As we say goodbye to 2020, bye-bye, and get ready for 2021, we look forward to you again joining us in our theaters.
And we want to thank all of you for watching this evening. We've had a great time putting this together, being back on stage, singing, dancing, acting, doing all the things that we do for a living. And we can't wait to get you back into our spaces so that we can produce live theater. And our education programs as well, too, getting you back into the classrooms and getting our staff back out into the schools. So we're counting down 2020 because, quite frankly, we want it to end so that we can get into 2021 and get back to doing live theater, having the opportunity to take our vaccines, wear our masks until we don't have to anymore, so our glasses don't keep fogging up. Want to thank you. I want to thank all of the great folks who put this together.
Yes.
And, you know, it's live theater, so we've had some good fun with this. If it's not quite midnight when we count this down, you'll still have a good time. You get to count it down twice. And if you've recorded it, you'll get to count it down as many times as you would like. So thank you. Thank you to the staff at Playhouse on the Square. Thank you to the board of directors. And most importantly, thank you for supporting Playhouse on the Square. And here's to some fantastic programming we've got coming up in early 2021 as we get into our next season starting in July. Cheers. Let's count down to 10, shall we?
Ready.
From 10. Here we go. And
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy